Let me grab Sheriff Chronister quickly. Sheriff Chronister, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
And good morning, MJ.
Hey, so we've talked about this because I think it's an important story. And what happened recently is that the legislature passed and then the governor signed a new bill that beginning on July 1st, you're not going to need to have a concealed weapons permit in order to carry a concealed weapon, a gun, here in the state of Florida.
Correct. And I think a void that's been created is the training component. You know, how to properly handle that firearm, how to properly store that firearm to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And at the same time, where can you carry that concealed firearm?
Yep.
You know, ignorance is never a defense. You know, what happens, and there's a lot of things in that new law. So if you plan on carrying that concealed firearm under this new permitless carry, you better make sure you're aware of where you can carry it.
You know, the bottom line is, this show, the MJ Morning Show, we do a lot of content. We really run the spectrum. And if we can just give the message to a large contingent of Tampa Bay area residents regarding gun safety, if the law's changing, if we can get, a couple of hundred listeners to just say, you know what, I would like to know the law. I would like to get trained. I would like to learn about safety. If we can, in some fashion, some way, help with the safety and education component, I think that that's a public service that we can offer here on the radio show. And you, as a sheriff's office, you're doing the same thing. So what you're doing is you're hooking up with Shooter's World, which is on Fletcher in Tampa, and you got a grant. You've got a grant of $75,000 from the Law Enforcement Trust Fund. And what are you going to be able to do?
Well, this is even better. From the Law Enforcement Trust Fund, this is money we've seized from criminal activity. So what a better way of using it than putting it back in the community to make sure we focus on gun safety here in our community. They can go to shootersworld.com, and when they check out, they type in Team HCSO, and the fee they would normally be charged to take their concealed weapons permit class, that $75 is waived. The fee's waived.
That is amazing. So the fee for the concealed weapons and safety course, the fee is going to be waived. Also, the grant is allowing you to offer free trigger locks. And is there a gun safe or a vault component as well?
Another important component of this is making sure these guns don't fall into the wrong hands to a child, or that we don't believe, because I can't believe we're still talking about this, that you can't leave your firearm in an unsecured car and believe that's responsible gun ownership. 379 firearms stolen last year and already this year from people leaving them in their unlocked cars. When we know that 2 out of 3 car burglaries are crime of opportunities because the car is simply left unlocked. Totally preventable. So yes, when you take this course, at the end, you're going to get a trigger guard to make sure that doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And then we have a little mini gun vault. You can take both or one or the other. But again, make sure you're properly trained on how to handle that firearm so you don't accidentally shoot yourself or a loved one, and then make sure you can properly store that firearm.
All right. Go to shootersworld.com, and then at checkout, so you sign up, and then at checkout, so the code is what is it? I'm looking at one of the stories here. It says code HCSO or Team HCSO.
Yes, sir. MJ, Team HCSO.
All right. So enter that code, and you're going to get this course for free. Public service from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, because the law is changing on July 1. Hey, later on, Chad, folks, we're on with Chad Chronister, the Sheriff Hillsborough County. Roxanne, you just mentioned car thefts, unlocked cars, crimes of opportunity.
Yes.
Roxanne has a story that we're going to get into later on about a friend that had a car stolen. I mean, it's a crazy story. So we're going to follow up on what you just said.
And I want to ask Chad real quick, if you don't mind, Sheriff, anything similar in Polk County? Some of our texters want to know if there are other programs. Are you aware of? I know you're Hillsborough, but do you know of any of the other counties that are doing something similar?
I'm not. I know that they're working at a similar program in Miami. I think a lot of the sheriffs are expressing the same concern. I think we're all worried. I certainly support the Second Amendment. It's just the responsible gun ownership, the safety portion that we're concerned with. And the only way to be prepared is to be trained. So hyper focused on that and the storage of it. But no, I believe that they're working on something in South Florida. I haven't heard anything else. But listen, every sheriff's office has law enforcement trust fund money. That's the money we get from drug dealers and all the criminal activity. What a better way to spend it than keeping our community safe.
Awesome. Sheriff Chad Chronister, you're always welcome on the MJ Morning Show, Hillsborough County Sheriff. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for helping us get the word out.
You bet.